You are listening live to the Vito and Vito Show.
Disrespectful to the executive branch.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
Don't sign the damn deal, and the president will...
Therefore, I do not believe that the majority can vote a man's life or property or freedom away from him.
And we're live here on the Vito and Vito Show. I'm Vito.
And I'm Vito.
We want to welcome everybody here to the Vito and Vito Show. Check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Vito and Vito Show. And allow my co-host to explain just what the Vito and Vito Show is. It's a gift from God. We're on a mission from God, Vito. Like the Blues Brothers.
There you go. God
So
spoke
tell
to
us,
me.
Vito, what is the Vito and Vito Show?
We are bringing you the perspectives of two college-age millennial conservative libertarians out of liberal hellhole Brooklyn, New York. We're committed to defending the principles of free markets, liberty, and individualism. We hold no punches here on the show.
Oh, Vito, I hear you're a political correct fellow.
I'm very astute. Yes.
I know. I heard you're very politically correct. Am I offending you by telling you that you're politically correct?
I like to watch what you say. Remember, I do drink with my pinky up at all times. I wear bow tie to bed. Is that what you're referring to?
Political correctness does not equal a nerd, Vito. Jesus.
Oh, I'm sorry. Really?
Oh, all right. Let's find the most non-political correct joke that we could say to one another.
I get off by watching the O'Reilly Factor. Good? I think we got it. Should we call in the Donald to come up with some non-political stuff?
All right. Here's my most non-political correct word or insult. Or
You gonna tell us what you get off to?
What?
You gonna tell us what you get off to?
No, I'm gonna try to keep it non-sexual. I think Islam is an evil religion. Boom.
Oh wow, isn't that just great?
Okay.
Like we say that every show.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up because Vito's gotta go watch the O'Reilly Factor right now. It's gotta get off. You're a sick puppy, you know that?
Well, that's why I have a radio show.
Yeah, all right.
That's the way to do.
Thank God you can't see this. He's naked right now and it's all hanging out. That's right, we're not politically correct here on this show. We're gonna tell you what it's like out in the world, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna give you a little common sense on the college campus, because there happens to be none, and we're here to break down some of the most mainstream arguments you hear out of your college campuses, or some of your mainstream arguments you hear out of the leftist mouth, on whether it's on MSNBC or Twitter or whatever the hell people are throwing around that the left considers an argument. We're here to rip it up in front of them and make them cry, and we do it because we do it for truth and liberty. All right, Vito, here's the deal. What are we talking about tonight?
I have no idea. I was hoping you can start with that.
All right, let's start with the notes. Stacey Dash.
There you go.
Yeah, apparently Miss Dash is getting in some trouble. After she speaks out on the Oscars. She says that black actors have BET awards. Is that racist or is it not? We're going to talk about this opinion and the hashtag Oscars So White controversy that's been flying around left and right all over Twitter, all over... it's taken over, Vito. The mainstream Hollywood leftist crowd is apparently racist by their own standards. They fail their own test. That just goes to show you the complexity of these people. They fail their own test. They are not politically correct. And then they go ahead and they preach political correctness. The same people that think Michael Brown was a saint. The same people that think Kim Davis should be hanged. We're talking the leftist hypocrisy on full display. Will Smith and his wife, they're boycotting the Oscars.
Spike Lee's not going.
One
One of my favorite movie makers.
Name me one movie from Spike Lee.
Rent.
You're a schmuck.
No?
No. I didn't even call it Rent. You fool. How about Crooklyn,
Oh, sorry.
Like Brooklyn with a C?
Oh. Doesn't he, own the Knicks?
He doesn't own the Knicks, you fool.
He plays for the Knicks.
He's
their mascot. That's what it is.
There you go. He's the
Yeah.
Knicks mascot. There you go. I'm a Brooklyn Net fan. If there's anyone there that listens to or watches basketball, you'd all know that the Nets are absolutely horrible this year.
What's their record? -2 and what?
Oh, it's just as bad as the Jets.
Hey, we had a winning season.
Wait, define winning.
10-6. We almost made the playoffs.
Yeah, almost.
Playoffs?
Who'd you have to, who'd you have to get over?
We had to break our quarterback's jaw.
Yeah, well.
So it worked.
No, you had to get over New England, right?
Yeah, we beat New England, but we lost to Buffalo.
Ah,
But
I
hey,
see, I
we
see.
beat Brady. I just want the Patriots to lose.
Oh, that's
I cannot stand Boston.
But
The sport teams. The people there are very nice, been there many times. But I hate the Red Sox and the Patriots.
oh, I hate the Red Sox.
Even the Bruins
The Bruins.
and the Celtics. Oh, my God. What is this, ESPN radio?
Well, hold on a second. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk about this because I'm a Giant fan, and
I'm a Jet fan.
the Giants have absolutely been horrific this year.
Yeah, they're terrible. But I do stand behind the Giants because they beat the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl.
So you're behind anyone that beats the Patriots?
Anybody.
Oh my God.
I don't give a damn. If
You're a-
Hillary Clinton played football, I would support her if she beat the Patriots.
You're a sports whore.
Listen, I just
Hey,
can't
you
stand the
wanna play a
Patriots.
game?
Yeah, sure.
Let's play a game before we get started here. And by the way, speaking of Hillary Clinton, we're going to also bring up in the second segment a talk over the past Democratic debate that happened this past week. I just want to go ahead and go down some of the one-liners that these fools were blurting out, and I want to go ahead and just attack some of these arguments left and right.
I love
and
this.
again, more hypocrisy from the left. You're going to love it.
Excellent.
You're going to love it. And don't forget about Moments of the Week plus Twitter fan right here on the Vito and Vito show. So let's break this down, Vito. What do we got? If you had to name a football team after Hillary Clinton, what would you name it? An NFL team. An NFL football team that best relates to Hillary Clinton. What would it be?
That's a tough one.
Not necessarily.
Like the Chicago Pantsuits.
It's not what I was
think
going
of-
for.
no,
I was
no.
trying to get you to relate or to
like,
pick an NFL team
pick
that
one,
best
pick one?
describes Hillary Clinton.
Um,
But I do like the Chicago Pantsuits a lot. I like
Thank
that.
you.
Deep pockets for deep corruption. You like that?
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Speaking of corruption, what name would you got?
Let me go through the NFL teams now. What would fit her the best?
The New England Patriots. Don't they cheat?
Ah,
Right? She's a cheater.
yes, very
Yeah.
good, Vito.
Hey,
Look
you're
at
welcome. Look at that.
That. You don't even watch sports.
Nah, I don't watch football. I'm a Yankee.
Manly. Is it?
Speaking of Yankee, I'm a big Yankee fan. So
Yes, we do like the Yankees.
yeah, not rooting for it. All right, what would you describe Bernie Sanders? Think of a crazy, out of control football team where things always go wrong.
The Jets.
And with that, let's talk about
Everybody gets to play quarterback. We're all equal here.
It's all equal. You all suck. Let's talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this started. Stacey Dash. She was an actress, conservative commentator, and here's the deal. She was on Fox and Friends a couple days ago. And said that the whole hashtag Oscars so white controversy is nonsense. She goes, quote, "We have to make up our minds. Either we want to have segregation or integration. And if you don't want segregation, then we need to get rid of channels like BET and the BET Awards and the Image Awards, where you're only awarded if you're black. If it were the other way around, we'd be up in arms, and it's a double standard." This is what she said on Fox and Friends earlier in the week.
And she's absolutely correct 1,000%. Absolutely. Now, she's been taking heat like crazy from the left because of these comments, because, oh, that's racist, that's absurd, she doesn't know what she's talking about. But she's absolutely correct. Because this double standard is ridiculous. So she'd be getting all this heat, and they're saying, oh, she's been called white because of her comments, because that makes any sense. She's been called an Uncle Tom. You see all these things when black people have an opinion that is not really the same as many other black people.
Right.
But here's the thing. Here's what I find very funny. Is that they go after her and they hate her. Uncle Tom. But nobody ever goes after Morgan Freeman, who has basically the exact same opinion. You can look it up. His views on Black History Month. He says the exact same thing. But nobody dares to go after Morgan Freeman, the voice of God. I mean, come on. But why do they go after Stacey Dash but not Morgan Freeman? It's, I think, because she's a Fox News contributor. You think that?
Yeah, and that's,
Or she's not as big and doesn't have the best voice like Morgan Freeman.
yeah, well, let's leave Morgan Freeman's voice out of this, but that's pretty much the truth. She's a conservative. She's gonna get attacked. She's gonna get attacked left and right. That's just the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a black conservative, let alone a black female conservative, and you go ahead and you espouse a different opinion than what the rest of the feminist herds on the left want you to agree in, you're considered less worthy. You're going to be attacked. You're going to be attacked by people who are supposed to be the most, or so they say about themselves, are the most tolerant people in the world. You're going to get attacked. You're going to get ripped up. You're going to get called a racist and Uncle Tom left and right, all because you think a little differently. And I absolutely cannot stand the need for the left to resort to this type of behavior. And it really is a need, Vito. You see, these people need something to latch onto. They need an attacking point. Mm-hmm. And this is the attacking point that they can hit you with because it's personal, because it offends you, because it's not true, and lastly, it's an attack on your character. These are personal attacks from the left going after Stacey Dash. You know, to take a look at some of the comments that you see up on Twitchy. Here's one fool, Mark Lamont Hill. He's always on MSNBC. I gotta read some of this stuff out there. I just want people to understand the hypocrisy on the left. I think it's always good to point this stuff out. And Mark Lamont Hill, he has a PhD in, like, I don't know, African-American studies, whatever, and he thinks, white people are, that there's this white privilege going around. He seems like a moderate, but in reality, the guy's a crazy leftist. And let's break it down. So he says on Twitter, this is his tweet, so when Stacey Dash was frustrated about the segregated awards, she didn't think of the Oscars. As if, what is his talk of the Oscars being racist? Taylor Rook, Stacey Dash just might be the worst. Chad Johnson, the guy Ocho Cinco, speaking of football players.
Yep, from Cincinnati.
In all seriousness, who pulls the strings to the puppet that is Stacey Dash? So reminiscent. Oh my God. So reminiscent.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's been a long day. To Jason Whitelock with the verbiage she spews. I mean, come on. Come on. Perez Hilton. Of course Stacey Dash has something to say about the Oscars. And of course it's stupid. Who, by the way, I don't know what these, Perez Hilton, what does he do? This guy walks around and just talks about other people for a living. Sort of like what we do. Right. But to another degree. And then here's the thing, like you said before about Morgan Freeman. Before people get up in arms about @real Stacey Dash, that's her Twitter handle, remember what Morgan Freeman said about Black History Month, and I wish you could play the clip, but we weren't really able to find it, but he did say exactly what Vito was going on. He said we should, Black History Month we should get rid of Black History Month. And the BET Awards are nonsense. This is what Stacey Dash had to say about Black History Month. She says, just like there shouldn't be a Black History Month, we're American, period, that's it. And for the explosive ending, Peter Ducey then asked, or Steve Ducey, whichever one's on Fox and Friends, I don't know. I got things to do in the morning, baby. He says, are you saying there shouldn't be a Black History Month? Because there isn't a White History Month. Stacey Dash, a black woman, says exactly. Morgan Freeman says the same thing. Vito's right, they don't attack Morgan Freeman, but they'll rip apart Stacey Dash because she's a black conservative woman. There's your difference.
Well,
and it's all stemming from this notion that the Oscars are racist. If you're not good enough to be in the Oscars and get nominated, then you're not good enough to be in the Oscars and get nominated. That's that. End of story. We're talking about Hollywood here. The same place that wants to make James Bond a black guy. The same place that made Spider-Man in their new comic books, I think he was gay. They turned Spider-Man into a Hispanic, gay superhero. That's not Spider-Man, and James Bond ain't black.
Great.
This is what we are living in, ladies and gentlemen. Political correctness in the highest degree. And not for nothing. I mean, look, I got no problem with gay people or the gay community, whatever the hell they want to do, so long as they don't infringe on anybody's rights. But, Vito, be honest with me here for a second. Do you notice that a lot of television shows today always feature a prominent gay character?
Absolutely.
It's become more of a recent thing.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I got no problem with it, but I mean, just what is Hollywood trying to do?
Push an agenda?
Is it maybe?
Or be politically correct and meet a quota and say, well, no, we don't hate gay people.
Right.
Look, here are all the shows of gay people. We like black people. Here are these movies of black people.
Take a look at the show Empire, right? The big show on Fox, on Fox Network.
Mm-hmm.
Huge show. All black cast. They got a gay storyline. Modern Family's got a gay storyline.
What was that show with the whole rap thing that you watch? It's a whole black cast.
Oh my God, where were you 2 minutes ago? I said Empire.
Just making sure. I don't watch it. I don't know. I don't watch TV. I do radio.
Ray Donovan. They got a gay, the show on Showtime. Yep.
Yeah, but I'm saying aside from the gay part in Empire,
Men.
the whole thing is black.
Mad Men has gay characters in it as well. So I'm just trying to say this is the forcing of the Hollywood agenda on a lot of these things. I mean, is there really a need to always come on? Every way you
House
look.
of Cards.
Oh, House of Cards has gay.
Well, there's that whole weird thing with Underwood and the bodyguard. Remember
I mean,
that?
like, to me, it just seems like they're just trying to push these things out. They're just pushing
That's weird.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even in places where it doesn't belong. It's like, are you kidding me? Really? I get it already. Yes, I understand. So what? He's gay. Wonderful. But like, they just continue to push this idea, this image, the concept into their production. It seems like it's being painted there. But even Empire, like you said, Vito, was an all-black cast, and they're flipping out about this.
Right, but aside from all that, I mean, the best part is that somebody's saying that Stacey Dash isn't even black anymore.
She lost her blackness?
Yeah, John Fugelsang, he's a comedian and actor from Long Island. Okay. I don't know, but I'm reading the news. A bunch of things reporting that he's like, even she's not black anymore because she doesn't like Black History Month.
Well, wait a second. Is he being is it a joke or something, or is he serious about this?
No, I will pull up exactly what he said.
He was serious about this.
Yes, this is all over. Mediate.
So wait a second. So Rachel Dolezal, or whatever her name is, she could pretend to be a black girl her whole life, serving the NAACP.
No, not pretend. She became another woman.
She
become another person.
Okay.
She became a black person. I did it yesterday.
You did it.
The shits and giggles. The snap of my finger. I my ruby shoes, ruby slippers.
Like Dorothy.
I can become anything. You can be anything you want, Vito. That's what my mom told me when I was a child. You can become anything you want in this world. Right. And I became,
what? A black
lesbian woman.
A black lesbian.
Because why can't I do that, Mom?
This is the world, ladies and gentlemen, that we live in. And look, I'm more of a libertarian, so I'm all about individual rights, and I don't care. Let people do what they want to do. They're not hurting anybody. I don't see the problem with it. But you got to also understand that minds can be influenced, and people are trying to change other people's minds. They're just trying to I don't know. They want to do what they want to do. Look, a lot of TV shows today are being forced to include gay characters. They're changing their entire format to include all black cast. I mean, you just see stuff like this, and you just go So you see, or women, right? You see women comedians before we've ever really seen women comedians in the past. I mean, Tina Fey, and you had the Two Broke Girls on CBS, and here's some Hollywood stuff. So you look at this stuff, or Melissa McCarthy, who's another comedian. So you look at all this stuff, and you say to yourself, okay, obviously Hollywood is not a racist place in any way, means, or form. But apparently, Vito, by their own standards, they fail. Will Smith's boycotting the Oscars. His wife is boycotting the Oscars. And they're pissed at what's going on. They're pissed because they don't feel they're getting a fair shake. But it's absolute BS, because if their movies aren't good enough, they do not deserve a nomination, let alone to be on the stage and win an award. That's just the truth.
I just don't understand the whole Oscar so white. I mean, I can understand something if throughout history a black person has never been nominated. But there are countless famous award-winning black actors.
Sidney
Poitier, James Earl Jones, Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington, Will Smith, Jimmy Fox. Does anything ring a bell? Halle Berry? Diana Ross even got nominated.
Really?
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah. Eddie Murphy. There's a bunch. Whoopi Goldberg.
Why are you repeating yourself? You were so off your rocket tonight.
Because I'm just
for emphasis,
baffled.
Right? Wow, yeah.
All of them. I don't understand how they can say this because, 2 years passed and nobody was nominated? I don't know, maybe there wasn't a good movie. Maybe no black person starred in a good movie. Oh, no, that's racist.
I mean, people are trying to make the claim that the NWA movie, Straight Outta Compton, deserves an Oscar nomination, or...
It wasn't that great.
Or what's the other movie? Creed? The new Rocky Balboa movie? Listen, This is ridiculous. They were in great movies. They were in Oscar-winning films. Please, for the love of God, get one thing straight. They were not Oscar-winning films. If your film is not Oscar-worthy, in terms of performance, you don't deserve a nomination. I know, but this Oscar's so white, it's so stupid. I cannot stand it. But listen, I'm tired of talking about racism because I just get disgusted with the left. Coming up here on the Vito and Vito Show, when we return, Democrats at the debate. What did they say? You're going to love it right here on the Vito.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save.
Your friend, teacher, boss.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T. That's F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
Your neighbor, the waiter, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hey, Vito.
Hey, Vito.
There's a movement in healthcare today.
It's a movement of people that's ready to stand up and take charge of their healthcare.
It's people like you and me who are tired of paying too much for healthcare and getting too little.
People who are standing up for their values and letting their conscience make decisions based on timeless principles.
It's a movement that's sweeping the nation, and you need to be a part of it.
Liberty Health Share is leading the movement of people who are looking for an alternative to traditional health insurance.
Liberty Health Share is a healthcare sharing organization of people who are sharing the cost of healthcare in an easy and efficient way.
Choose your own doctor, your own hospital, and live out your values in healthcare.
Join the movement. Together, we're changing healthcare for good.
Go to www.joinlhs.com or call 800-722-8041. That's 800-722-8041.
And we're back here on the Vito and Vito Show. Check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Vito and Vito Show. The hottest millennial conservative libertarian show here on the interwebs and terrestrial radio on AM and FM stations. Again, check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com, to find network listings, past articles, and old episodes. Give us a follow. Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, podcasts. We're on all those sites. If you have Player FM or all those cool podcasting sites, type in the name, The Vito and Vito Show, and you'll be able to find us. All right, Vito, let's talk about this right now. This past week, you had the Democratic debate on a Sunday.
So what, Sunday night?
Yeah, who holds a debate?
Sunday morning.
Who holds a debate on a Sunday night?
Democrats.
You know, I mean, these people they're egging for Hillary to win, and I'm calling it now. I'm calling it. And I'm putting money on it, Vito. We're going to bet right now, right here. As we speak, I'm betting you $100, $100 cool dollars, that it is going to be Bernie Sanders as the Democratic nominee, not Hillary Clinton. Bernie Sanders will win the Democratic nomination. Period. End of story.
Well, since I'm a betting man, I'll go with O'Malley. No, that's why I have a problem.
Yeah, you do a little bit.
You know what?
Turn the lottery ticket over. It says in the back with a number to call.
There
if
you
have
go.
a gambling problem.
I'm going to go with Hillary Clinton for 100.
You really think Hillary is going to be able to take the nomination?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. You know, right now it's very close in Iowa and in New Hampshire. And if you look at history, no Democrat has ever won the nomination and lost those two states.
So you want me to bet for Bernie? Because that's not really, you're not going to make your money.
No, I'm just trying to let you understand the gravity of the situation right now.
Well, remember, Hillary Clinton is almost as untouchable as Donald Trump.
Hillary Clinton is as untouchable as Donald Trump. I don't think so. Vito.
I said almost. I threw in the word almost.
I don't think any way, shape, or form that's true. I mean, you've said on this show before. You've said back in 2012 and 2008 that the reason no conservative was able to get enough delegates for the nomination was because you had moderates in a very small number, maybe one or two moderate candidates, and everybody else was a conservative on the stage. Bachmann, make the case with Santorum. Who else was on there? Herman Cain, you could say, ran as a conservative. Mitt Romney ran as a moderate.
Newt
Gingrich ran as a conservative, thank you. Ron Paul. And all these guys are shooting at each other, trying to say they're the most conservative. Well, Mitt Romney was able to say a couple of stupid one-liners, hang off on the side, and not get touched as, being not having to fight other moderates. So he was basically able to walk into the nomination.
Right, so
Same thing with John McCain.
You're saying this is happening on the left?
I'm saying this is not happening on the left. Which is why Hillary, if she had more crazy liberals running, she has a better shot of winning. The difference is, there are two candidates running for the Democratic nomination. Yeah, Martin O'Malley, count him in if you want. But I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. He ain't going to do anything. He's going to drop out soon. You're stuck with two. You're stuck with the radical socialist, who the left, on the real left, the populist, the socialist, the Marxist, who love Bernie Sanders. And then you have your establishment Democrats who have Hillary Clinton. That's like having Jeb Bush up against either Ted Cruz, make the case for Donald Trump, or even a Rand Paul. Well, Marco Rubio / Jeb Bush versus Rand, Ted, and the Donald. All running as conservative on one side. And on the other side, you have moderates and leftists, wannabe Democrats, but pander to be as Republicans. So the point that I'm trying to make here, ladies and gentlemen, is that Bernie has a better shot because polls are indicating that he is pulling ahead in New Hampshire. Matter of fact, he's going ahead and he's actually tying with Hillary up in Iowa. He's very close. And it's going to give Bernie a better shot to get the nomination. Where are those votes going to go? Either Hillary or Bernie.
Yeah, but it gives him a better shot. But listen, I hope Bernie gets it. I really do. I
knew you were a socialist pig.
I really hope Bernie Sanders gets the nomination because that will absolutely help the conservative, whoever's on the right, to win. Because I cannot see a socialist winning in this country.
No, neither could I.
Not yet.
No way.
You know, you might be like a fake socialist. You know, you might call yourself a Republican, but you go along with the Democrats, whatever. A closeted socialist. Like most Democrats. But the left is not like the right. Most Americans are more fairly conservative. You have a strong conservative base. And those conservatives will not go out and vote unless there's a conservative running. That's why they stayed home for McCain and Romney, and that's why Obama won.
Clinton's got a 46-point lead. Sanders at 43 points. So she got a 3-point lead up in Iowa. By the way, February 1st is the Iowa primary. Or caucus, excuse me. The Iowa caucus is February 1st for both Democrats and the Republicans. And up in New Hampshire, Sanders has a 51.6
polling
data
number.
51.6% versus Hillary Clinton's 39%. He's got a 12.6 spread over Hillary Clinton. It's
going to make it interesting, but I don't see a good amount of Democrats voting in this primary full socialist.
No. I say this. Primaries require a large turnout. The question with Trump, the question with Sanders, the question with any candidate is, are you going to get people to turn out to vote? I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. I got news for you. You got to prove it. And guess what? Who comes out in the primaries? Your most committed voters come out. Your more ideological voters come out. More conservatives come out to vote in the primaries. The same thing on the left. How do you think Barack Obama got elected, for Christ's sakes? It wasn't by the stroke of a pen or calling somebody on the phone. It was by getting out there and getting some crazy leftists to come out and vote for Barack. The same thing with Ronald Reagan.
Because they're tired of the same old Clinton, the same old Bush. Bush.
Perfect.
The same old.
So this all just lines up with what I'm trying to say. Bernie has a great shot of not only winning of Iowa and New Hampshire, he has a great shot of winning the damn nomination. The Democrats are going to put a renowned socialist, a democratic socialist, a whatever socialist he wants to call himself, whatever flavor type of socialism. It's all the same crap, by the way. They want to put another socialist up on the ticket. A full-blown socialist. It's going to happen. Hillary's going to lose again, and it's going to be the most embarrassing thing for the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton family. And it's going to be bad, Vito, I'm telling you. But let's just hear what these people had to say during the debates. So let's play a little bit. Here's what Bernie had to say on gun laws. I just want you to hear this. Just listen to the nonsense. Listen to the nonsense. Bernie on gun laws at the Democratic debate this past week said, well, I think Secretary Clinton knows what she says is disingenuous. I have a D- voting record from the NRA. You see, Vito, only Democrats are proud of failure. You notice that? Only Democrats are proud of getting a D-.
Look how bad I did.
I just find it to be shocking that this is how and what they're proud of, these people. Are they not proud of anything else? They're proud of trampling on the rights of other people?
Mm-hmm.
They're proud on kicking the can down the road in terms of restoring America. They're proud, ladies and gentlemen, of forcing you to pay taxpayer dollars to fund smart gun technology when you don't even want them. This is what Democrats are saying is okay. This is that D- voting record. They think that gun owners are a criminal before a crime has ever been committed.
Oh, yeah. The NRA supports crime and murder of children. This is what they're going with. And they're proud to say they want to take away your rights, your Second Amendment rights, the God-given rights that they don't believe in, so majority vote could strip away your rights.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not even a majority at this point. Barack Obama has been doing it with his pen and his phone. He's been doing it via executive order.
There you go.
And he, even though Martin O'Malley might be polling at like 2 or 3%, he's still not immune to stupidity. And he says, this is what he said, quote, Martin O'Malley, I've never met a self-respecting deer hunter that needed an AR-15 to down a deer. You see, if you don't know what the Second Amendment is about, if you don't know what the Second Amendment is about, stop talking. Because the Second Amendment, the Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting. I got news for you.
Yeah, they didn't make it right. Put in the Bill of Rights, your Second Amendment right, so you can go hunt, or keep a handgun in just in case you get robbed. There's much more to that, and we'll go into detail. If you think that's outdated, you obviously don't understand anything about the Bill of Rights or the founding of this country and why they made the Bill of Rights and what they did.
I think it's a valuable understanding when Democrats. It's a valuable indicator when Democrats just, they just spew off the rails. And they talk about how the gun is for hunting. Let's get one thing straight. No founder has ever said, on record, that the only reason the Second Amendment is in the Constitution is for people to hunt. No founder has ever said the reason for the Second Amendment is to have a protection of one's family and property, but rather to protect themselves from a tyrannical government. That is the purpose of the Second Amendment.
A government that takes away your rights. Example, 2016 with President Barack Hussein Obama. And I'll say this again on the show, and I feel like I say this every week. I say this a lot.
What do you say now?
Compare and contrast. 1861. Okay? The South, they felt like the Union and the federal government was taking away their rights because they were passing a few laws that went against states' rights. And they had a civil war. Okay? 2016, we're losing so many more rights and facing such a more tyrannical government than they did in the 1860s.
Are you calling for a revolution?
Yes. Pick up arms if you could find them.
Unbelievable.
I think I can get in a lot of trouble for that.
Yeah, you probably can.
But they're taking away our rights.
Well, that I can't agree.
Give me liberty or give me death.
There you go.
So if you don't hear from me next week, they got me. They gave me death.
Well, you understand, you see, and I just want to get one thing straight here. Let me just read you something from a very important text of this country's history. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whatever form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and institute a new government. And how do these people on the left intend to just practically carry out that understanding of the Declaration of Independence? Honestly. They don't understand that whole point of the Declaration of Independence, of overthrowing a government, of instituting freedom and liberty and the principles set thereafter, is rooted in the Second Amendment. You cannot have a first, you cannot have a third, you cannot have a 24th, 5th, whatever. Pick any amendment across the board. You can't have any of them unless you have that Second Amendment. It is the practical to the ideal. It is your pragmatist school connected to your ideal school. It is your realism. It is your idealism. It is every philosophical context you can think of. It brings into fruition and practicality and to reality the entire concept of the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and Declaration of Independence. Here's some more stuff. On polls, Bernie Sanders said, Secretary Clinton well knows when this campaign began she was 50 points ahead of me. We're all of 3 percentage points. Guess what? In Iowa and New Hampshire, the race is very, very close, as I said earlier in the program. In terms of polling, guess what? We're running ahead of Secretary Clinton in terms of taking on my good friend Donald Trump. He's referring to some polls that he's beating the Donald, but in reality, he's got no shot. And you know what scares me the most about this whole thing, Vito? That Bernie's got a legitimate shot. He knows it. I know it. I hope you know it. And I hope some other people out there know it as well.
Did you say he had no shot, but then he has a legitimate shot?
I said he has a shot. I said you said he has no shot.
I think he has no shot. At the presidency.
No. He has a shot. Not at the presidency, no. But he has a shot at winning the Democratic nomination.
I think he does.
Well, quickly change your tune. Here we go, Vito. Here's something.
You want to make a bet?
Here's something for you. And this, as we wrap up the segment, I want to talk about Hillary Clinton and her attacks on Bernie on Obamacare and health care. Hillary goes, here's what I believe. The Democratic Party and the United States has worked since Harry Truman to get the Affordable Care Act passed. First of all, no. Harry Truman wanted complete universal health care, and it failed because the country said we're not doing the socialist crap that the other countries do. So that's number one.
Boy, have we changed.
Number two, Hillary is so politically connected and establishment-like. She is so proud to say the Democratic Party in the United States. No, it's not the Democratic. This is nonsense. First of all, rhinos go along with you all the time. So I don't want to hear it. Second of all, when you talk about how, the Democratic Party passed the Affordable Care Act, we're the greatest thing ever. It's like you're gloating, like she's going out of her. That's what I get. I get that Hillary's going out of her way to gloat and to try to get attention for herself. She's a fame whore. I can't stand people like that. And Bernie says, well, the truth is that FDR, Harry Truman, do you know what they believed in? They believed that health care should be available to all people, blah, blah, blah. We're going to pay for it by taxing Wall Street. This is what he says. But then the best part is that Hillary Clinton attacks Bernie Sanders' veto and says that a Medicare for all system would abolish Medicare, Medicaid, and all these things. Of course it wouldn't. A Medicare for all system means universal health care. And we all know universal health care is an absolute disaster. And that's another argument for another time. Mm-hmm. The point here is Hillary is trying to out-liberal Bernie by undermining liberal principles. Do you see how she's just twisted? There's something wrong with her. There is something absolutely wrong with her. Now, Vito, there's a screw loose in this woman's head, and there's a thread too loose on her pantsuit. But I'm telling you now, she is getting... The fact that she's trying to say that Bernie Sanders is going to demolish Medicare and Medicaid if he has Medicare for all. She's got to be stupid to think that Medicare for all is not going to include the elderly, the sick, and all these other people in the world.
It's just her, she's trying to attack Bernie and her attempt to jump to the left and get more liberal votes. They're just playing politics.
That's what it is.
And that's all she does her whole entire life, play politics. And she's used her husband for this. She's used everybody she's come in contact with. She just uses people.
Yeah.
Uses and abuses, and it's disgusting. And what's even more disgusting are the people who support her and just don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm. I say it all the time, and I think a lot of conservatives and libertarians agree with me. If you support Bernie Sanders, I have more respect for you as a political adversary than if you support Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's a liar, a cheater, and a fool. Bernie Sanders, at least, is a principled guy who stands by his socialist principles. And even though, Vito, he is a socialist, and I don't agree with a damn thing he says, I gotta say, I respect him as an individual human being because he sticks by what he believes in.
Right, because if you argue with somebody who supports Hillary, oh, it's a mess. They don't know what they're saying, they support corruption, and just... It's terrible. They can't hold an argument because they don't know what they're talking about. If you talk to somebody who supports Bernie Sanders or a socialist, at least they have an intellectual argument. They can stand with you and argue socialism against capitalism, etc., and they can hold their points and stand with principle. That's the difference here. The two complete different candidates and parts of the party.
Hey, Bernie's a socialist and I can't stand him, but at least I respect him. And Hillary, well, she's just a fool. Listen, we're going to break. When we return here to the Vito and Vito Show, forget about the moments of the week, but before that, we have an interview with Genevieve Wood, writer at the Daily Signal and the Heritage Foundation, over the race in Iowa on the Republican side. Hear what she has to say about Ted and Trump when we return. Vito and Vito Show.
Fighting the Common Core standards? Need a powerful tool to help inform others on this harmful education initiative? You're covered with Common Ground on Common Core, the collection of essays by 20 top education experts and activists. Reviewers call it the best single resource on the topic. You can share it with literally anyone. Order your print or digital copy of Common Ground on Common Core today. Just visit resoundingbooks.org. That's resoundingbooks.org. And get $2 off when you tell them Vito and Vito sent you. Paid for by Resounding Books Pack.
So what is behind enemy lines anyway?
This is the true story of two friends living in the People's Republic of New York City who work together and have their conversations taped to find out what happens when conservatives stop being politically correct and start getting real. We are Behind Enemy Lines. Watch your wallets. Thursdays at 1 on WNJC, part of the Conservative Commandos radio network.
Welcome back to the Vito and Vito Show. Give us a follow at Vito and Vito Show, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Go ahead, check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com, www.vitoandvito.com. Past articles, old episodes, and network listings are on a bunch of conservative internet and terrestrial stations across the country and across your interwebs. So go ahead and check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com. Vito, we got an interview with Genevieve Wood. She's a writer at the Daily Signal, and she's a writer at the Heritage Foundation. I can't really talk too much about this interview. I know I would love to, but we are short for time. So I want you guys to hear the insight into the Iowa race. We're going to be talking about it a lot until then. We're going to put out clips daily. It's going to be great. I cannot wait for this. Check out the Twitter at Vito and Vito Show to see what we're talking about. But oh yeah, we are talking about the Iowa caucus, and it's going to be huge. Cruz, Trump, who do you like? Who do you support? It is like the Super Bowl, baby, but 10 times better because the country's at stake. So I'm going to shut up and play this interview by Genevieve Wood. She's a reporter for the Daily Signal and the Heritage Foundation. She's smarter than we are, so have a listen here on the Vito and Vito Show. Vito and Vito here with Genevieve Wood. She is a contributor over at the Heritage Foundation, and boy, do we want to talk to her about Iowa, because this is the race everybody is watching. Welcome to the program.
Hey, good to be on with you.
Hey, it is great to have you on. Genevieve, help us out here for a second. Now, you're a smart person. I mean, obviously you work at the Heritage Foundation, and you know, me and Vito can't get a job picking up trash. So you obviously know a lot more than we do about Iowa. Fill us in, because apparently Donald Trump is doing very well over Ted Cruz, and some polls are saying that Donald Trump is actually neck and neck with Ted Cruz. So what is the climate down there? What are the reports coming in? And more importantly, who's going to win Iowa?
Well, look, I don't think there's any doubt, no matter what poll you look at, it's coming down, at least right now, to being between Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. But here's the deal. We know that Ted Cruz has a ground game. He's got a lot of campaign staff on the ground, people lined up. And in Iowa, that really matters. I mean, on caucus night, it's more than just simply showing up and casting your ballot. You got to show up and be committed to sticking around for an hour or several hours to go through the caucus and stand up for your candidate. So only those who are really committed are going to show up. The question is, a lot of people show up at Donald Trump's poll or rallies, but will those same people show up on caucus day? He says yes, but frankly, none of us know until caucus day because nobody's has seen this kind of campaign before.
Well, no one has seen this type of campaign before, but I see an interesting resemblance here to Ron Paul. Remember Ron Paul, his victory a while ago in 2012 when he did very well in Iowa. I mean, he considered himself that was going to be his starting off point. So my question here is Donald Trump the Ron Paul of this race in that he's able to draw out Donald Trump supporters, and are they just isolated and contained to only Iowa? Because he has such a specific amount of people that like him and support him and are going to go out and actually vote for him. Can that transcend throughout the country?
Well, look, I think they're beyond just Iowa, but I don't know that they're exactly the same as the Ron Paul supporters because a lot of the Ron Paul supporters were committed campaign workers who were showing up all through the whole lead up into the Iowa caucus. Again, with Donald Trump, he has a lot of rallies, but in terms of people on the ground that are going to be his campaign staff, there's definitely some there. It's just you don't see as much of that as you have in years past. Doesn't mean his supporters won't show up, but it's just a little unconventional from what we've seen in previous campaigns.
And how about Ted Cruz? I just want to get your take on this because if he wins Iowa, I think he's going to give Trump a run for the nomination. Is Ted Cruz a formidable opponent, considering some polls are saying he's losing, some polls are saying it's neck and neck? What's the story with Ted? Does he have a shot is the question.
He can go a long way. If he doesn't come out number one, it's going to be a lot harder for him. So he's got every reason to give it all he's got. Right now, again, I think it comes down to Trump and Cruz, but there's always a possibility there could be a surprise. But right now, I would pick one of the two of them to take the number one slot.
Hey, it's going to be interesting to see. I tell you, it's going to be great. Genevieve Wood, contributor at the Heritage Foundation. Where could we find you on social media and read more about this wealth of knowledge that you have that I'm envious of? Where could we find more information about you?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter. You just go to @Genevieve Wood. You can find my articles and that of all my colleagues who, frankly, Vito, are a lot smarter than I am. You can find all that on dailysignal.com. You can find articles there on the election season and not just the horse race, but all the issues that really matter. I mean, at the end of the day, it should be about the issues and about the policies, and that is most of what we cover.
Genevieve Wood, writer for the Daily Signal and the Heritage Foundation. Thanks so much for having you on.
Thank you.
And that was an interview with Genevieve Wood, but man, I gotta say, Vito, she's calling a close one in Iowa. Who do you think's gonna win Iowa? Come on, $100.
Ted Cruz.
Can you please, for the love of God, not take my answers?
Fine, Jeb Bush.
I'll take it. All right, it's that time of the weekend. That time of the weekend. Forget about it. Moments of the week.
What? Forget about it?
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Paul, forget about it.
Yep, forget about it. Moments of the week here on the Vito and Vito Show. We break down forget about it moments right here by blasting stupidity in its face and just some of the most weirdest things we've ever seen in this past week in the news. Vito, what do you got for number one on our forget about it list?
Remember Anthony Weiner?
Yes, the former mayoral candidate in New York City, the former congressman
who sent a picture of his weenie to women.
Yeah, right? What a last name, Weiner.
I mean, it's just perfect.
Yeah, for like a sex scandal.
Well, bingo.
It's better than Vito. Yeah. Like if I ever had a sex scandal, I'd change my last name to Johnson. I changed my last name to Johnson. That's what I would do. What would you change your name to?
Nothing.
That's a boring name.
No, I want people to know.
Oh. Oh, I see.
The Vito Di Giovanni, right?
No, you had to pick like a porn name. What would it be?
Jesus Christ. Oh, Vito Torpedo.
That's cute. You gonna take my lines again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, copyright information, ladies and gentlemen. That was my nickname in high school. Yeah, my nickname, not his.
Which Vito's which? You can't see us.
That's nice.
There you go.
That's nice. That's not even, I don't want to do this anymore. You do it yourself.
You take it. Well, Anthony Weiner's starring in his own documentary, and it's in the Sundance Film Festival. So they made a documentary about Anthony Weiner. Yep. Vito's speechless.
You took my porn name, you son of a...
Try, it gets better.
I don't want to hear this anymore. Whatever's next.
President Obama spends $10 million a year on travel alone.
Who cares? Don't take my porn name. I'm
You
pissed
still hung
about
up
this.
on this? It was
yeah,
a joke. It
It's
was
my
a
thing.
joke.
My thing.
It was
Me.
a joke.
Me. I worked hard for that.
Oh, yeah, sure you did.
Okay? I worked hard. I sat and I slaved away mentally for that stuff. And here you are coming on the scene taking my stuff.
Right.
Like a socialist. Like a damn... You're Vito the socialist.
It's called a joke.
Yeah, no. You're Vito the socialist. That's what you are. You're Vito the politically correct socialist.
Okay.
Okay?
You're taking this way.
No, I'm not.
Too serious.
No, I'm not. You're the one that's taking this way too relaxingly. That's what this is.
I'm
Okay?
sorry.
You steal the people's jokes. You're nonsense. This is over.
I write your jokes.
You don't write nothing. You don't even know how to write.
Stick with
Finish
the
this up so I
teleprompter.
can punch you in the face. Come on, hurry this up.
Wow, I feel like an anchorman. What's he saying? Obama spends $10 million a year on travel, Vito.
Good for him.
No comment?
Next.
Good, you're paying for it.
I think we all are. We're all paying for this crap.
Ready? I think you'll like
No, I'm
you'll
not done. I'm
appreciate
still
this
talking
one.
about the president traveling the world. He spends $10 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Where
On
does
just
he
travel.
go?
Good question. There's a lot of golf courses in America, apparently.
It's not just America. He's traveling the world.
There you go.
You know he winds up somewhere like in I don't know. Like where would be like the weirdest place the president could play golf? I'm just trying to figure
Kenya?
out. Whatever. You still stole my joke. What's the last forget about it moment of the week?
New poll came out that apparently Japan is one of the most sex-obsessed countries there are, but they indulge the least.
Oh, those poor things.
I know. A new poll came out that 27% of men and 22% of women want absolutely no sexual relationships. That's crazy. 1/4 of all Japanese people have never, virgins, no sexual experience at all.
A quarter?
A quarter.
25%.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And 10% said, they asked why, 10% said sex is too much work. Oh, come on! These people are crazy.
And that's why, like, I heard Japan is the highest suicide rate in all of the world. Well, we wonder why.
Here you go.
Wow, that's sad. Don't you feel bad for these people?
No, they can just go have sex.
With who?
Do it.
A quarter of the country doesn't want to.
Why?
That means you could be like in a little karaoke bar in Japan somewhere, in Tokyo. And you're like, dun 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 dun, and then like you see this girl, and she's over there, mixing rice, and you say to yourself, "Wow, I wonder if she wants to, do the little, you know what I mean, right?"
Ring-a-ling-ting thing?
Yeah, sure. So, what are you supposed to say? Do you go over there and do you speak to them? There's a 1 in 4 chance she's not going to want to sleep with you.
That's just because they want no sexual relationship.
Right, she doesn't want to put in the work.
Yeah, they say you're just not attractive. It's just terrible. And now I wanted to compare that to America because nothing says sex like Americans. I mean, come on, it just oozes. So everybody in America likes sex. That's basically what I found out. But these polls on ABC News is amazing because it doesn't just tell you how many Americans have sexual relationships and don't. They have sexual behavior. We get into detail in America.
Okay, all right. You might as well just wrap this up very quickly. Cause
I just want to say 50% of polled Americans said they had sex outdoors.
15.
57.
What?
57% of Americans have had sex outside of the house.
That just about wraps it up here on the Vito and Vito Show. Hashtag Ted Cruz 2016. That's right, here on the Vito and Vito Show. Conservative, libertarian, millennial college students. Check us out on the Dennis Michael Lynch Unfiltered television program on Newsmax every night, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find Newsmax channel information over at www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow at Vito and Vito Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're signing off. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, take it easy. Because in Brooklyn,
it's nothing but the truth.